This trip has already started off very, very interestingly, and not in a good way.
Okay, let's try this.
Oh my goodness, there's literally crumbs on the floor, bruh. Okay, so they didn't like, I'm not wearing socks. Okay, I feel like normally I would do like the room tour, cute with music, and then be like, hey, this is what this video is. But listen, this video, let me sit down because let me not touch the crumbs. Basically, this video is kind of gonna be fun and interesting. This is part 2 to the last video where I showed I was getting rid of like a whole bunch of books from mckays. I am 3 hours away from home to go to the closest mckays. It's close to me. I am actually going with a friend tomorrow, but instead of driving up here in the morning like a crazy person, I drove here tonight and just, you know, having a little staycation, but it's already gone like super wrong. The room that I originally booked was at a Studio 6 hotel because they had the best ratings. The rooms looked the best. I get to the Studio 6 hotel, motel, whatever it is, extended stay, who cares? I get there. She thought that I was like the girlfriend of some guy who came in right before me, and I was like, no, I have a reservation. And she was like, oh, well, I'm currently giving away my last room. And I was like, okay, queen. But I showed her the reservation that I made like 3 weeks ago, and she was like, well, I'm literally in the process of giving away my last room. I'm 3 hours away from home. And you're telling me I don't have somewhere to sleep tonight because you gave away my room? Huh. And these are people that did make a reservation. I'm still kind of mad about it, but I don't think I've had time to be like super, super mad about it because I was like, it's 9 o'clock. I need to find somewhere to sleep for the night, you know? Because I'm already pissed that I don't have my mckay's cash. But now I need somewhere to sleep at this point, without telling my friend that I'm really like here and being like, hey, I need to crash on your couch, you know what I mean? Fortunately, I did find a hotel, obviously. As you can see, I'll show you what it looks like here in a second. It's like not the worst, but there's crumbs on the floor. And I was gonna take a bath, but there's a stain at the bath. Anyway, I'm very fortunate, very blessed that I found a hotel. This hotel room, I feel like it's gonna really amplify any loneliness that I feel, and you'll see why here in a second. I am excited though, because part 2 of this trip is surprising my friend. She, from my understanding, has never had a surprise party, so I've been working with her sister on planning a surprise party, a small get together in her home, which is part of why I was like, I gotta get here so I can get there in the morning, and like it's a whole coordination thing, which that in and of itself almost blew up in my face because it's just different things, but it's fine. Everything's fine. I am not built for surprise parties. I would love to be surprised. Like I would love to be surprised. I would cry of pure joy, maybe throw up a little bit. Happy farts, you know what I mean? I don't know if you can hear that, but that's the AC literally fighting for its life. So she's not bad. I have 2 queen beds. The bathroom isn't bad. This is the best thing about it. It has like the nice like lights down here, which is great. But actually, I'm not gonna show you the stain because I don't know where it's from and it looks like pee. I'm not gonna lie to you, but just know there's a giant stain in the bathtub. I might not shower either. At least I'm leaving them my DNA, you know, for my haircut, there's just hair because I'm shedding. It's book shopping day. I'm so nervous to see just how well I can play it cool. You do that, and then I'm gonna poop. Well, I have to poop. Wait. Just clean it. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, you can tell I just woke up. It's the next day, back home, fresh out of party mode. Quickly to just like recap the day, which there's not much to really recap. I just want to talk about this place called A Special Blend. Obviously this video is not sponsored. I am not popular on YouTube. First off, my smoothie was amazing. My friend loved her coffee. I love my brownie. The vibes of the place were just fantastic. I don't know if they have other locations, but if they do, I will like link them in the description. It's a coffee shop that sells baked goods, but they also do sell smoothies. They also sell milkshakes, like anything that you can really like drink that can like wake you up and give you a sugar high, they sell. What's so cool about it, it's just like the way they operate, how they like call out your order. It's not a number, it's not your name. They give you like a little hand-drawn and hand-colored piece of paper that's laminated, and then there's like an adjective associated with the word, and that's how they call you out. So for example, ours was a cup of coffee and it was like a blue mug, and our word was delightful. So when our order was ready, instead of saying our names or number, they were like delightful, and I was like, oh my goodness, like that's us. What's even more amazing about this place is the fact that most of, if not all of the workers are people with some sort of what we would call a disability, but I don't really like that word when it comes to describing people who are autistic or have Down syndrome, but those are the employees that work there. And I think that's one of the best things about this place, because they made my order, they didn't do anything wrong, and it was just so beautiful to see. They were all so freaking kind, and I absolutely loved it. So definitely recommend checking out A Special Blend. I will have like their information below. I am gonna see if they have other locations, and if they don't, then just like if you're in the area of the location in the description box, please go check it out, because it was freaking amazing and it wasn't expensive at all, and just the entire environment is amazing. Plus they have a punch card. Buy 10 drinks, get one free. We love to see it. Now for just all of the books that I got. Before I get into mckay's, prior to going to mckay's, I actually did go thrifting at a very local bookstore. Also, don't mind the bonnet. As we saw, I got my hair cut and I'm shedding. Anyway, so I did go to a local bookstore that's like secondhand, and I got a few books, and I want to talk about them because anytime I get a book, I would love to talk to you about it. Anyway, the first one I did talk about on the podcast, it is Talk to Me by John and Kenny. Just like the last like book haul video, I'm not gonna like read the very long synopses on the back. If there's a way to sum it up, then I will sum it up. So for this one, it says Ted Grayson's very public fall from grace could be the best thing that's ever happened to him. And I do know that he's like a family man, so like everything that's like happening in his life, I'm guessing this is him right here, it like, I don't know, works and helps out his relationship with his daughter and his wife. Okay, and then the next one is a very long title, but it's The Happiness Project, or Why I Spent a Year Trying to Sing in the Morning, Clean My Closets, Fight Right, Read Aristotle, and Generally Have More Fun. We love a very, very long title. This is I really don't know if it's a nonfiction book. I don't know. Okay, and then we All Loved the Beautiful Girls by Joan Prolob. Just says, one frigid winter night, Mia and Michael Slate's comfortable world dissolves in an instant when they discover that their best friend has cheated them out of their life savings. At the same time, a few doors down, their teenage son passes out in the snow at a party, a mistake whose consequences will shatter not just their family, but an entire community. In this arresting, masterful page-turner shot through with fierce, clear-eyed compassion and sublime insight into human fragility, award-winning novelist I can't say the author's last name, explores the savage underpinnings of betrayal, infidelity, and revenge, a multi-layered portrait of love in all its glory that no reader will soon forget. It's different, you know, it's not a romance, and I think I like that about most of the books that I got from when I went to this particular thrift store. It's like they're not romances, they're different. And then this is a book that I have seen everywhere, and it was actually all over McKay's. It's The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. This book is everywhere. A lot of people talked about it when it like initially came out, was like super popular. It says twins, inseparable as children, ultimately choose to live in two very different worlds, one black and one white. Whenever I see multiple copies of the same book at McKay's, then that means multiple people didn't like it. And there were like 2 shelves with this book. So I am very, very interested and very nervous about reading it. And then lastly, as far as what what I got from my little trip to the local thrift store is The Maid by Nita Prose. I believe, is this not a like kind of thriller? Yeah, a dead body is one mess she can't clean up on her own. I thought this was kind of like a thriller murder mystery type vibe. I don't remember, but I remember just like a booktuber that I watched said that she liked this book and read it. And so when I saw that it was like at my local bookstore for $3, I was like, heck freaking yeah, we're gonna get it. And since I keep talking about mckays, I guess it's time to get into what I got from there. But before I do that, I want to show you the 3 books that they ended up not taking from me that I'm actually going to give to our local free public library. The little free libraries that you see, like either in front of someone's house, ours is at a park. I'm gonna give these books there and maybe somebody will want them. The first one they didn't want was Girl Boss by Sophia Amoruso, which I think is kind of funny. They also did not want Pilgrim at Tinker Creek, which I mean, I'm not mad at them. And then the last book they didn't want actually wasn't mine, it was my friend's, so I don't know anything about this book, but it is called Stranger Things by Erin Healy. Now we can get into the books that I got, that I purchased, sort of. I more so used my store credit because all those books that I showed you in the last video, like, you know, they took them, which means I got like a massive amount of store credit for them. And I barely had to pay anything for what I'm about to show you. There are a couple things that I got for other people. So me and then my friend that I went to the bookstore with and then her sister, we are all like starting our own little book club. And this is like the 7th one that I'm in. I went ahead and got her sister's book, and then they actually have a 3rd sister, and she is a fan of a particular singer, and I got her a vinyl of like the singer that she likes because she just deserves the world, and if I can do that for her and make her day, then I absolutely will. So yeah, that is the one thing about mckays. It's like, yeah, they have books, but they also have DVDs, they have CDs, they have toys, they have board games, anything that's like really a source of entertainment. They have electronics. It's really, really nice. So when I saw that they had records, I was like, okay, yeah. So the first thing I'm gonna show you is not a book, it's actually a record. Harry's House was one of my favorite albums when it came out. So I had to get it. And then the back's yellow. I was like, I have to get it. And the font choice, I love this font. Finally, for books, the first book that I got was The Hate You Give. I have been wanting to read this. I've already seen the movie, and this is actually a book that kids are able to check out from the library, like at the school that I work at, and like a class set. Like teachers literally have this book as class set reading, which I think is super dope. I wanna read it, and I wanna kind of be able to have conversations with the kids about it. The next book that I got, this just, the cover really seemed interesting to me. It's the movie version by Emma Wunsch, I believe. And honestly, I could not tell you much about this book. I was really trying to figure it out as I was standing in the store reading it. It's basically about a girl named Amelia and how she has like the movie, like the fantasy version of her life, but the main character of the show, which is her brother, starts to act a little funny and a little different. And so all of a sudden the movie version is not what it's made to be. And in the process, she goes from being the side character to the main character in the movie version of her life. I don't know, it just seemed very, very interesting. This is definitely a YA story, and I really like that like elements of the pages are written as if they are a script. I was like, oh, that's super cool. The next book that I got is a book that's been on my books to buy list for forever. It is Love Radio by Ebony Liddell, I believe. This is a book that I have seen mentioned in any sort of like romance books by Black authors that you need to read. So I was like, okay, it's here. It's $9. And it's hardcover. I think that's like the beautiful thing. A lot of the books that I got from this trip were hardcover, and we all know hardcover books nowadays are ranging between $20 and $30. So to be able to get a hardcover book for under 10, and it's a book that I actually want to read, is so exciting to me. The next book I got, it just seemed so interesting. Also very beautiful cover. It is Sky Falling by Mia Mackenzie. This is actually a book of the month book. In this buoyant novel, a probing examination of the complexities of family, queerness, race, and community, a woman who's used to going solo discovers that there's one relationship she can't run away from. When she was in her 20s, Sky sold her eggs, and once she hit the age of 40, basically this little kid came up to her and was like, I'm one of your eggs. That's all I read in the store for me to be like, okay, I gotta read it, because what do you mean? Then I decided to pick up Dial A for Aunties by Jessie Q. Sutanto, I don't know. We definitely hit like the mystery murder thriller section, and this is a book that I remember seeing everywhere a couple years ago. What happens when you mix one accidental murder with 2,000 wedding guests and then toss in a possible curse on 3 generations of an immigrant Chinese Indonesian family? You get 4 meddling Asian aunties coming to the rescue. Because I do like Alex, blah, 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 I don't know how to say his last name, writing, the guy who wrote The Silent Patient. I did pick up his book, The Maidens. His book, The Fury, was there, but there were so many copies of it, which made me kind of question it a little bit, because I was like, oh, people really did not eat down with that book for there to be so many copies of it at mckay's. However, there's only 1 copy of The Maidens, which makes me think this one is a little bit better than that one. A spellbinding tale of psychological suspense weaving together Greek mythology, murder, and obsession. And then a book that I've always wanted to read, this is actually also available in a class set at my library, so I want to be able to talk to the kids about it, is Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. Actually, a group of seniors, one of the teachers just had them check this book out, and so I really want to read this like super soon so I can talk to the seniors about it and be like, you know, how are you going to enact these lessons and everything into the real world? So I'm very excited. I love Trevor Noah. I have been wanting to read this book for so long, but I never wanted to pay full price for it, so I'm happy that it was only $5.40 at mckay's. Then I got Deacon King Kong by James McBride. James McBride is known currently, or like recently, for writing the Heaven and Earth grocery store, I believe, which they did have copies of. But before I read that, I wanted to read Deacon King Kong because this was talked about on the back of that book. It was also cheaper. It was only $5.50 for the hardcover. Just based off of the synopses of all of the books that they had in his section, I was like, I think I'm gonna be in love with him. It says, the funny, sharp, and surprising story of the shooting of a Brooklyn drug dealer by a deacon, by the way, and the people who witnessed it, from James McBride, author of the National Book Award winning The Good Lord Bird. So, and it takes place in 1969. Then, because I'm a psychopath, I got Chasing Red by Isabel Ronan. This was a Wattpad book that I ate up when I was in high school, and I saw that it was only $5 on the shelf, and I never read the published version because it's always different from the like Wattpad version. And I am actually low-key kind of excited about reading this because I feel like it's gonna be more nostalgia for me than anything. Am I gonna like it? The next book I got, this is actually the book club book for me, my friend, and her sister. It is Trust Exercise by Susan Choi. It kind of had this like small like mystery element to it. It's as captivating and tender as it is surprising. Trust Exercise will incite heated conversations about fiction and truth, and about friendships and loyalties, and will leave readers with wiser understandings of the true capacities of adolescence and of the powers and responsibilities of adults. It is We Are the Brennans by Tracy Lang. It explores the staying power of shame and the redemptive power of love in an Irish Catholic family torn apart by secrets. So it is another just super general fiction book. I don't know, I thought it was just super interesting, and once again, it's a hardcover for less than $10. That is all the damage that was done. Those are all the books that I bought. I am genuinely hoping that this will motivate me to not buy more books, but I also feel like I'm lying to myself in that aspect. I don't know, we'll see. I do normally tell you guys what I'm currently reading at the end of these videos, so if you don't care, then go ahead and exit out. But for those who do care, I am currently reading Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. I'm struggling. And it's not because this book is super thick, it's because of the material of the book. And I understand now why people say like the second book isn't the best. I'm also reading Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher, which is the second book in the Dreamland Billionaire series. I absolutely love this series. I'm tearing this up. So whenever I struggle with Iron Flame, I pick this up. And I am reading Power Moves by Sarah Jakes Roberts. I mean, this is a very good, this was actually a gift from somebody, and this is helping me with like just kind of my confidence in the way that I think about myself and just the girl boss in me. This is giving me the energy that I wanted Girl Boss by Sophia Amoruso to give me, but didn't. So very happy to have this book. Thank you to the people who gave it to me. And with that being said, I'm actually filming this on a Sunday morning and I need to get ready for church. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you stayed into this point, you are psychotic, absolutely crazy, but I love you for it. And I will talk to you guys super, super soon. I think the next video is actually going to be a vlog of my life as the media coordinator assistant / librarian. So hope you're ready for that. Bye. bye.